In the quibble, it was actually a foolish argument, a meaningless argument, a non-issue, what symbol to use for rupees. But in the quarrel between the Tamil rupee and the Hindi rupee, or whatever symbol you call it, the national symbol, and the old way of writing, in different languages we used to write, in English we used to write RS, and even RE for singular and RS for plural. So between the symbols, something was deliberately forgotten, and that was INR. INR was forgotten. Now, political parties, of course, they have agenda, and media, they have different agenda. Political parties, they have agenda to criticize an opposition party, and media will always highlight these things, make it sensational, because for them it is viewership. More viewers, more advertisement, more income. They don't bother about anything else. So media is always trying to sensationalize everything, because that is what they are for. They have to earn money. But this deliberate making it an issue by a political party, it was deliberately engineered by someone or by a party with a very sinister motive. A very sinister motive. They tried to engineer this controversy and make it sensational so that the media covered the symbol issue and not the real issue. Now, this symbol, actually, although we have adopted the symbol designed by a person from Tamil Nadu, that's a different thing. Who designed it, that's not an important issue. Even now, in many cases, we continue to use the old one, the old RS, or in Hindi Ru, or in Bengali, or in Tamil Ruvai, in Telugu, in Kannada. Sometimes we use the old notation as well. Even sometimes you'll find when you buy things, they write the retail price not to exceed. So sometimes they will use the RS, and sometimes they will use the new symbol. Even now, many things you buy, you will find that RS written. Even in examination papers or in textbooks, mathematics textbooks, a man buys an article for rupees 50. So sometimes they use a new symbol, sometimes they use the old symbol. So there's nothing sacrosanct about the symbol, or not using the symbol means you're not a patriot. It's not that. You can use anything, particularly those who are typing old keyboards, old computer keyboards will not have the new symbol. Although there is a Unicode, you can do that, Alt plus a number, but still many may not know, many may not find it convenient, so they prefer RS. So even in school question papers, sometimes you'll find even in other magazines, periodicals, as I told you, the maximum retail price written on different things you buy. So they use different things. Sometimes they use RS, sometimes they use a new rupee symbol. So this symbol was a non-issue. Symbol doesn't make a difference. It is the money which makes the difference. So let us see what happened and why. The main thing is education is in the concurrent list. Education is in the concurrent list. It is both on the central government list and the state government list. That means the state government, they also have some powers in this regard, and the central government also, they have some powers. So whenever things are like this, whenever you see that something is both in the central and state government list, something is in the concurrent list, what ideally the center is supposed to do, if they have any differences with the state government, or the state government has with the central government policy, or any apprehension or any problem, they should sit and meet. They should come to the negotiating table and meet and discuss. The center, like a guardian, should ask the state, what's your problem? If the apprehension is unfounded, you clarify. If the apprehension is genuine, you address their grievances. So you solve the problem. You have to sit with them and decide. So it is a question of negotiating, it is a question of meeting, it is a question of cooperation, not confrontation. Not a question of central government imposing something, not a question of central government opposing the state government. What you are supposed to do is the central government and the state government, they should meet, they should talk, and the central government should solve the problems or address the problems faced by the state government, or assure them in case their apprehensions are really unfounded, they should assure them. So it is a question of cooperation when education is in the concurrent list. But what actually happened? Let us see. Now, the central government, which gives grant or funds or money to the state government, now it is not the paternal property of the central government. Don't think the money belongs to the central government and they can do what they like. It is not the paternal property. It is not the personal property. As we say in Tamil, it is not appan vecha sottu. It is not bap kamali. It is not central government's money that you can do whatever you like. It is the money which belongs to the country. The money belongs to the nation. The money belongs to people. So the grant which you are giving to state is a constitutional obligation. The state government is not a beggar, like a beggar who will come to you, please give me 5 rupees or 1 rupee. You may give or you may say, jao, 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 go away. It's not that. It is a constitutional obligation, and your duty, your moral duty, your ethical duty, your constitutional duty of the central government, that whatever the state government due, whatever is their due, they must give. Don't think it is my money. The central government cannot think that it is my money. You did not earn the money by selling tea at the station. Were you selling tea at the railway station earning this money? This money is people's money, the people of India, and every state their due you have to give. Don't think it is according to your whims. When you like, you will give. When you don't like, you won't give. So you can't pressurize, you can't blackmail, you can't hold them to ransom. It is the state's due. It is their legitimate claim. When the state is asking for money, their legitimate claim, the central government, whatever is due, it has to give. It cannot show its high-handedness. If I like, I will give. If I don't like, I won't give. It's not that. You have to give whatever is due to every state. Fortunately, what the government did, what the central government did was, they stopped the money. The 2000 plus crore rupees which was due, which the Tamil Nadu must legitimately get, it was their what due actually. It's not that they are begging. It was their due, but the center refused to give the money. And just for the sake of political advantage, just for the benefit of your political gain, just out of political rivalry. DMK may be your political rival, that's okay. But just because of your political rivalry, you punished all the school children. You are actually playing with the future of the school children, all the school children of Tamil Nadu. You said, let the children go to hell. I will have my ego. If you speak Hindi, if you teach Hindi, I will give you money, otherwise, no money. So it was an ego problem. Actually, it was not even an ego problem. It was a deliberate ploy to deprive Tamil Nadu because elections are due. The state assembly elections are due. So just to put them at a disadvantage. So just for the political benefit, you actually punished all the school children. You put these school children at a big disadvantage. You created a roadblock and you endangered the future of these children just for your political ego and your political gain. Hindi, Tamil, these can be solved afterwards. Even after 5 years or 10 years, you can solve. But what will happen to these children? Tamil Nadu government may make alternative arrangements. That's a different thing. But essentially what you are doing, you are overlooking the future of these children. You are not even bothered about these children. Let the children's future go to hell. I am the boss. I will give money if I like. If you listen to me, otherwise I won't give money. Why? Because the elections are due. So, for the sake of political vendetta, you did not hurt MK Stalin. Stalin is not going to school or college. These children will be studying. So it is not Stalin you are punishing. You are punishing these innocent children and their future. You are playing with their future. So I won't give the money. It's a blackmail. A blackmailer, that's what it does. He will kidnap your child and say either you pay me money or I will kill the child. I will murder the child. And they will do that. So you are a government. You cannot be acting like a criminal blackmailer. You cannot be acting like a criminal holding someone to ransom that if you listen to me and speak Hindi, I'll give you money. Otherwise, go to hell. You live, you die, your future, let it go to hell. I won't give money. So, you are playing with the future of the children, which was most reprehensible. Otherwise, I can use filthier words, I can use vulgar words, but I don't want to go into vulgar language. To be very soft, I would put it that it was the most reprehensible attitude of the center. You are putting the future of these children at stake. You are playing with the future of these children by blocking the money and just for your language ego and for your political gain. That was the most reprehensible and almost a morally criminal act. Things are allowed to continue. What will happen? Another government or even this government later, supposing there could be an earthquake, there could be floods, there could be a natural calamity, and the Prime Minister's relief fund, they will say, if you speak in Hindi, then I'll give you the money, otherwise I won't give you. Go to hell. You may die, you may live, all your houses may be broken, the entire state may be damaged. Only if you speak in Hindi, I will give the relief fund, otherwise I won't give. I mean, it could escalate to that. If you are playing with the future of the children by blocking the money, what could happen in future? You may be playing with the lives of innocent people. If there is an earthquake or a flood, you will say, okay, let the houses be broken, let the people die. Only if you speak Hindi, then only I will give you the money. It's coming to that. If someone is going to Delhi and suddenly has a heart attack, if he goes to hospital, he will say, no, no, first you say Hindi. Did you learn Hindi? Then only I will give you treatment. So something of that, if this is escalated, in graph we say extrapolated, it comes to that. You are playing with the children's future for your language ego, for your policy ego, for your political ego, and for your political gain. The so-called vote bank policy. For your vote bank, if you can block the children's future, how do we know that you will not block the funds in case of calamity? That also you can do. Anyone can do anything. It may happen in future. It may happen with this government. It can happen with any other government. We are setting a dangerous precedent by this one. So, what you are doing is, something which is in a concurrent list, where you must have had negotiation to settle the matter, what you are doing, you are refusing the fund, putting in danger the future of children, and sometimes maybe when there is a natural calamity, you'll also refuse funds for the state. It is my money. If I like, I'll give, otherwise let the people go to hell. I mean, that kind of attitude could develop in future. And there were some interesting jokers who were saying various things. Like one very good. They are clowns actually in politics. We have illiterate clowns and educated clowns. All these will be found in all the parties. All the parties, whatever may be the party, you will find both educated clowns and illiterate clowns. Now, somebody was equating film with education. Like, why are you dubbing the films in Hindi? Now, film is different, education is different for two reasons. Not one reason, for two reasons. Film, who makes films? Film is made by people for money. They are commercial enterprises. They are commercial enterprises. They make film for the sake of money. So they will make in all languages. They will make in all languages. That is for money. In fact, you may know that even English books like Sherlock Holmes, Agatha Christie, Shakespeare, now these are translated to all the languages. Similarly, Doraemon, that was a Japanese one. So would you be learning Japanese? So this is a nonsense. I'm not talking about who is metric pass, who is metric fail, who has a black belt or red belt. I'm not discussing that. You may be metric pass, you may be metric fail, you may be having a black belt or red belt or green belt. That's a different thing. But you can't equate film with education, because education by the government is not commercial. It is not commercial. Film, those who are making, they are commercial. That is point number one. Second, the degree of knowledge, the extent of knowledge, the depth of knowledge required to understand a film or required for just a spoken conversation is different from the depth required to pass a school examination. When you are passing an examination in school, then the depth required is much different. Or you have to know, the mastery of the language should be much greater than what you just seeing a film or talking in the family or going to market and buying things or doing something like that, or you may be just reading a storybook. That level is different. And when you are studying in school and you have to appear for an examination, that is different. There you require more effort, much more effort. You will be asked grammar, you will be asked, marks will be deducted for spelling, for grammar mistakes. You'll have to study grammar, noun, adjective, all the definitions, verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb, active voice, passive voice, everything you'll have to do. So that is a different thing. Then another, they said, I know 8 languages. So if you know 8 languages, does it mean that everyone should know 8 languages? You may know 8 languages. By the way, that 8 languages, can you pass all the 8 languages? Or you know 8 languages only for speaking? For speaking, you know 8 languages. Can you pass an examination with equal proficiency, say 90% in all the 8 languages? We will set you a question paper, and can you get 90% in all these 8 languages? Just knowing the language is different, and teaching them in school for exam purpose is different. As a matter of fact, our late Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, I was reading at that time in papers, he knew many languages. Probably he knew more than 14 languages. So does it mean that you will teach 14 languages to the children? He knew 14 languages, so teach everyone 14 languages. You know 8 languages, but you know only language. You may not know mathematics, you may not know chemistry, you may not know physics. You may not know economics. You may not know accountancy. You may not know algebra or geometry or coordinate geometry or calculus. You know only 8 languages. But student, they have to study all the things. They have to study mathematics, history, geography, civics, economics, mathematics, science, physics, chemistry, biology, and in addition, their parents send them to dance, music, drawing, yoga, PT, and chess even nowadays. Chess, cricket. So knowing 8 languages and imposing 8 languages on the students, they are not same. They are studying for exam purposes. They have to gain a mastery of the language, and you know 8 languages just for communication. So they cannot be same. And we say don't compare one child with another. And here we are comparing an elderly person with children. We say don't compare one child with another child. That's what you are saying. And here you are trying to compare yourself, your age. You are a matured person, you are an aged person, and that you are comparing with a small child. So this is that's what he said, that political clowns will be everywhere. All we send to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, because when we send them, we don't see all these things, and political parties, they choose candidate for winning, not what they can contribute, what is their common sense, what they know, what they don't know. Just because they can win, you choose them. That is for the purpose of increasing your number, for your political advantage. Just you want more number, more number of MPs, more number of MLAs. You don't bother about whether they can really contribute anything or not. That's the problem. So you are knowing 8 languages, or just dubbing a film in Hindi or Tamil or Bengali or any other language. That has got nothing to do with imposition of a language at school level, where you are learning for exam purposes, and you have to gain a mastery of the language, the grammar, the poetry, the summary, including sometimes they may be using some outdated words. Ah, you will find many obsolete words. For instance, if you are studying Shakespeare, many words, outdated words. So all these things you have to learn, and you have to pass, you have to get good marks. And if you can't get good marks, then again private tutor, they said. So that is a different thing. And just communicating, going to a shop and buying something, or just watching the news or watching a film, that's a different thing. So that difference also they don't know. There is a type of people we have in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Even this minimum difference they don't know. I mean, what kind of clowns we are having. So anyway, so language is, when you are teaching in school, it is not just communication. It's not knowing how to speak. It's not knowing how to speak. It is much different. You have to learn grammar, you have to learn poetry, you have to pass in the exam. So many things are there: spelling, grammar, punctuation, accuracy, your pronunciation. Then you have to active voice, passive voice, direct speech, indirect speech, types of verbs, prepositions. So many things you have to learn. That's a quite different thing. So this is the minimum sense we expect an adult to have. But unfortunately, people who have sense, they don't go to politics. That's the saddest part of our democracy. Someone says Tamil Nadu means uncivilized. That was a statement given. Afterwards, you may retract it, you may apologize. That's a different thing. U turn you can take, but that shows your mentality. Tamil Nadu means uncivilized. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Sir C.V. Raman, I think both are uncivilized. All are uncivilized. The whole Tamil Nadu is uncivilized. That means the person who was making the remark, he thinks only he is civilized and the rest of the world is uncivilized. Tamil Nadu is uncivilized. That means anyone who does not speak Hindi is uncivilized. Sir C.V. Raman, he got the Nobel Prize, but probably he was uncivilized. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, one of the biggest scientists and our ex-president, late president, he was also uncivilized. All are uncivilized. And even Sir Annamalai, he is also uncivilized. All are uncivilized. So if you think Tamil Nadu is uncivilized, then why are you asking for votes there? Don't fight elections from there. Don't put up candidates. Put up candidates only in states which you think are civilized. Some of the states are very civilized. There you are pumping your money. In your budget, all the money was pumped to that state. So go and fight elections there. Don't go to Tamil Nadu. Don't fight elections because people are uncivilized. Why you are asking for uncivilized people's votes? They are uncivilized. You should not ask for votes from them. Only go to civilized states and fight elections. Let the uncivilized state be managed by uncivilized people. Don't come here for votes. This is a person who is a minister who does not know how to speak in public or in parliament. He does not know what words to use. Afterwards, he may retract, but that is the mentality I'm saying. This kind of mentality they have. Not speaking Hindi means uncivilized. Not speaking Hindi means uncivilized. That's the mentality they have. So, if you are saying they are uncivilized, you don't know what words to use, you don't have the minimum manners, ethics, and etiquette. You don't know what to say in public. You leave it to the people to decide who is uncivilized and who is civilized. So, is Tamil Nadu uncivilized, or the person who does not know what words to use for a whole community, that person is uncivilized? That I leave for you to judge. I am not making any comment because comment may be a bit disturbing for some people. In case you are wondering why they are so much promoting Hindi, it's not the love for the language. It's not the love for the language. For instance, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, our respectable former Prime Minister, the most respectable, the most respectful he was, he loved Hindi because he had a mastery in Hindi and he wrote beautiful poems. He really was a genius in Hindi. You can read his poems because he loved Hindi. He wrote in Hindi, he had a command in Hindi, he knew Hindi, and he was able to write excellent poetry. His poems are really marvelous. That is, Atal Bihari Vajpayee loved Hindi, but now these people, it's not that they love Hindi. They don't love Hindi. It is a different reason why they are promoting Hindi. It's not the love for Hindi. And as a matter of fact, how much they themselves know Hindi, that I'll show you just now. First of all, they should learn Hindi, then they can teach Hindi to others. How much these people know Hindi, those who are the so-called Hindi champions, will show you how much they know Hindi. Those who do not speak Hindi are uncivilized. Okay, we accept. We accept that those who do not speak Hindi are uncivilized. Those who speak Bengali, those who speak Telugu, those who speak Kannada, those who speak Malayalam, all are uncivilized. Okay, we even accept that. Now, let us see how much the so-called Hindi champions know Hindi. Now, listen to their pronunciation. They can't say star, they will say astar. They can't say snan, they will say asnan. They can't say sthai, they will say asthai. Asthai means opposite. Sthai means stable, asthai means unstable. Sthai means permanent, asthai means not permanent. So it is opposite, but they will say asthai, asnan, astar. Means without that they can't pronounce the word. Snan they can't pronounce, sthai they can't pronounce, star they can't pronounce all these things. Then there was a very big Hindi champion who was shouting, I am being poisoned, who was giving 4,000 seats to Modi. He does not even know how many seats are there in the Lok Sabha. He was saying Lok Sabha Modi will get 4,000 seats. I mean, this, I told you, politics will have many clowns, all the illiterate clowns and the educated clowns. So, he is a champion because if you speak in English, he will say, अरे कोई सेंस है जी, ये भारत है ना जी, ये इंग्लैंड है जी. So he is a very much immense Hindi champion. So one day he was giving a sex education inside the assembly. He thinks he is a master of all the things. He was saying, पुरुष जब शादी करता है, पुरुष and शादी means that sa, sha and sha. Sa, sha and sha He does not even know the distinction between these three. He is supposed to be a champion in Hindi. He does not know the difference between these three letters. Some people saying Asnan and some people saying Purus and Sadhi. That's the level of Hindi. And in parliament, the so-called Hindi champion, many of them will say Graha Mantri. Graha Mantri means planet minister, not home minister. They will say Graha Mantri means planet minister. So those who don't know the difference between planet minister and home minister, those who don't know the difference between sa, sha and sha, those who cannot say snan or sthai or star, they have to astar, asnai. Now these people are teaching Hindi to others. First you learn Hindi and then you come and teach us. We can learn Hindi, but first of all, what is your Hindi? This is the level of your Hindi. So you don't know Hindi and you are saying that Tamil Nadu must learn Hindi, otherwise I won't give money for children. Let the children's future be doomed. I don't care for the children's future. I won't give money. You must learn Hindi. But first of all, these leaders should learn Hindi. These leaders, they don't know Hindi. Now they are teaching others Hindi. This is their level of Hindi. So it is not the love for Hindi. Otherwise, they would have learned Hindi properly. If they really loved Hindi, just I told you like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they would have learned Hindi. They don't know Hindi. Their Hindi level is like this. Now they are asking us to learn Hindi. Why? The reason we will give. What is the so-called affected love? The fake love. This is a fake love for Hindi. What is the reason for this fake love? It is not a true love. It is a fake love for Hindi. What is the reason? We shall see. So the affected fake love for Hindi lies here in the state-wise distribution of Lok Sabha seats. The Hindi-speaking belt, the number of Lok Sabha seats is much more. There are more MPs in the Lok Sabha from Hindi-speaking belt than from non-Hindi-speaking belt. For instance, UP alone has 80 compared to West Bengal, which has half of that number, and compared to Kerala, which is again half of that. That is 1/4 of what UP has. So UP, Bihar, MP, Rajasthan, they account for say 174 seats, whereas the southern states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, 64 seats. So you can see the ratio. Almost it is 3:1. The southern states, 64 seats, and the Hindi speaking belt, almost 3 times the number. So it is the number of seats. It is purely political greed that they want to impose Hindi on others. They think that by making the Hindi speaking people happy, they want to make UP happy, Bihar happy, MP happy. So by making these people happy, I can get more Lok Sabha seats. That is why they are calling Hindi speaking people civilized and non-Hindi speaking people as uncivilized. Why Tamil Nadu is uncivilized? Because it is not speaking Hindi. Why? It has only, how many seats it has in Lok Sabha? But from UP you have got many seats, 80 seats. So it is the number of Lok Sabha seats that is what determines who is civilized and who is uncivilized. If you want to get power in the center, you will have to make these people happy. UP, Bihar, MP, Rajasthan, all these people must be very happy. Then only you can win. That is the reason to grab power. That is why the fake Hindi love, the fake love for Hindi is coming from here. Just to get more seats so that they can win. That's all, nothing else. There is no Hindi love. Because they also do not know Hindi. I told you what kind of Hindi they speak. So they do not know Hindi. Their mother tongue is not Hindi, but they want seats from UP, Bihar, MP, Rajasthan. So they are very civilized. And these Tamil Nadu, what? Some 20, 25 seats, all uncivilized. Tomorrow Kerala also will be called uncivilized. Maybe Karnataka also will be called uncivilized because they are not sending enough MPs. So where you are getting MPs, they are civilized. So it is purely a vote bank policy. That is the filthy, ugly mentality When you say someone is uncivilized, this is the filthy, ugly mentality, dirty mentality, which makes you say that Hindi speaking people are civilized and Tamil Nadu people are uncivilized. That is the main reason, that is the political the political reason why Tamil Nadu people are uncivilized. So this is how politics is working, and this is the, what do you call, horrible. There's a horrible situation when you call, where you get only less number of seats, you say they are uncivilized, and where you get more seats, they are civilized. So this is the dirty game of the politicians, of some politicians. So what do we do with this? They want to impose Hindi. Why? Not because they love Hindi, but because Hindi speaking belt, you have more number of MPs. That is the only reason. They rise above politics. Then they can really perform what a central government must perform. What a central government must do? It must always hold talks with the states and resolve all differences, resolve all issues. Whenever you have an issue, you have to sit and talk with the center, dialogue, discussion. This is actually, you have to, what you have to do, the center and the state must always be cooperating, must always be on the negotiating table whenever they have differences. The center is supposed to hold talks with the center, talks with the state. The center should hold talks with the state to resolve whatever issues they have, whatever grievances they have, or if they have any apprehension, to convince them that the apprehension is unfounded, or to give assurances, to give clarifications. So it is a question of negotiation, it's a question of talks and dialogues. That is what a good central government must do, not stop the money and endanger the future of the children. Then they have to think of people's welfare above political rivalry. Political rivalry is different thing. You may have political rival, you may belong to a different party, always in election you want to defeat that party, you want to get more seats, that's okay. But you have to think of people's welfare. You can't put people's welfare, you can't put children's future in jeopardy, you can't endanger the children's future by blocking the money just for your political advantage, just for your political mileage, political leverage, just for your political greed. You can't be endangering the welfare of a state or welfare of the children by blocking the money. Your motto should be cooperation, not confrontation. Every time you don't have to fight with the state. Even if the state is ruled by a rival party, you don't have to always fight with that state. It should be cooperation, not confrontation. That's the central government. Good central government will always have cooperation, not always confrontation. Why confrontation? Always cooperation. And definitely no vendetta over language issue. Just whether you learn Hindi or not, whether you will learn 3 language or 2 language or 4 language. Now this cannot be an issue for vendetta, political revenge. And you are taking revenge not on the chief minister, not on DMK, but on the children, Tamil Nadu children, their future. There you are putting your anger and revenge, and you are taking it out on the school children. You are taking it out on the innocent Tamil Nadu children by blocking the money. Whereas vendetta is obviously not the way a good central government should behave. You should be holding talks with the state, resolve the issues, and the children's welfare should be above your political gain and political ego. You should go for cooperation and not confrontation, not always fighting and criticizing. And obviously, there should be no vendetta over a petty language issue. So, if this is done, then we can call the government a good central government. Otherwise, we must say that the central government is a total failure, utter failure, because of the political greed. It tried to bulldoze the people's interest, and particularly the children's interest, the school children's interest, because of a political ego, political greed, and petty language issue. Okay, so they will be uncivilized. So my only request to that person is not to fight elections in that state. They are uncivilized. Go to a state where people are civilized. Only there you put your candidates. Then you will be called civilized. But calling them uncivilized, and again you want to fight elections there, again you want to get the votes of the uncivilized people, then who is really uncivilized? I leave it to you to judge. I won't say, you judge who is uncivilized. So we'll be coming back with more videos. Till then, thank you and goodbye.